Okay people, I'm back. I'm at the courthouse once again. I've just seen the David trial in person once again, and we've got some very interesting updates. I did see David in the flesh again. He walked through, and in my opinion, I would say this time, I feel like David was maybe looking a little bit more, I don't want to say nervous, but he looked kind of humbled by the experience. He kind of walked in, sort of his head ducked down. He sort of like peered up like that. I feel like he was looking a little bit downtrodden, a little bit humbled. He kind of had his head down. But we saw some very, very interesting people. I'm seeing some legal folks walking out right now. I don't know if we can show them. We've got some of the folks in the courtroom. I'll keep it real with you. I was waiting outside to go into the trial, and I locked eyes with David's lawyer, Blair Burke. I locked eyes. She kind of stared me out. I'm not going to lie to you. Maybe she heard some of the comments that I made about David's haircut. David had a haircut. His hair was looking shorter. He was looking a little bit sharper this time. But there were some interesting updates. Okay, so I had my notepad out this time in the courtroom, and we got some interesting updates. Okay, so initially they were basically planning to have this hearing on the 26th of May, and basically they were planning to have this hearing on the 26th of May. I think that's now been postponed. It looks like it's going to be pushed to, I believe, either July the 3rd, or I think it was June the 23rd that was actually proposed. That wasn't accepted. Then they ended up accepting June the 17th. So there's going to be another hearing. Now, there wasn't any like huge grisly updates in this incident. Fortunately, we didn't find out anything else horrible, because there's been some dates we've gone to where some of the details coming out in the courtroom are just heartbreaking. With this one, it was really just an update of some of what was going on. So essentially, we were back at the issue of the evidence taking days to upload. The defense team were basically saying that they felt like they're still not getting all the files that they need. Apparently, the DA's been working overtime trying to get all the files over there. It's taking days to upload. As I said, it was brought up before that there was 40 terabytes worth of evidence against David digitally. That apparently, some people have said that that was just all illegal videos of him with the young girl, but it's not just that. Okay, and apparently there are a handful of really significant pieces of evidence that have now been officially uploaded. So basically, the DA said that they would be turning over all relevant materials. They've been going over and beyond. They said something like they've been trying to use evidence.com because there's so much evidence. I don't even know. I'm going to have to go look up evidence.com. But apparently, they've now handed over 10 terabytes of 40 terabytes, and currently in their possession, the defense now has David's iClouds, the LAPD reports on all the arrests and all the incidents and run-ins that he's had. I wonder if that also includes the police report from when allegedly the LA Sheriff's Department came to David's crib and told him face-to-face that Celeste was a minor. I would be very interested to know if that's the report that they got. They said they got all the LAPD reports. Apparently all photos. Now, I don't know if that means literally all photos from David's iClouds, or like literally all photos that are going to be intended to be used in the case, but the words used in the courtroom were all photos have been uploaded. They've uploaded lab reports. I believe they've uploaded videos. Now, all of David's iCloud would suggest that they have potentially uploaded the illegal videos, or the videos that include Celeste that are not good, all right? They're saying that all the videos have been uploaded, the whole iCloud, his arrest reports, and forensic evidence. So a whole lot of evidence, about 25% of the evidence that they have has been uploaded, and they're going to keep uploading regardless of the dates. Okay, apparently the detectives have been trying so hard to upload all the information. They're using all these outdated systems, and basically they're saying that the discovery in this case is going to take months. They've only got a quarter of what they want to upload at this point, and they're trying to get more into the cloud so that the defense can actually see what's going on. Now, apparently people, lawyers and all that kind of thing, they changed their schedules to be at the hearing. The DA basically said delays are holding everyone hostage, and that they need to agree on their dates and they need to stop moving stuff along. The DA basically said, look, I know there's a lot of evidence for you guys to get through, but at the end of the day, we need to get on with this. We can't just let this thing drag on forever. You guys want a speedy trial. And they basically said they all need to agree to stick to their dates. They set a date for I believe it was a preliminary hearing or probable cause hearing for June the 29th. So the May the 26th preliminary hearing date is now been moved. So we're not going to be hearing about this case for over a month now, basically like a month and a half. We're not going to get any real updates. So David's lawyer, who was scowling at me outside in the hallway, Blair Burke, said that the dates that they're proposing in June are realistic, but they still don't have all the reports, so they can't say definitively exactly if if they're going to be ready, they're going to try their best. They're basically trying to work informally with the DA to get discovery quicker. They're basically going outside the formal procedure to try and get these 40 terabytes, and they just can't seem to get it. Now look, if they need some help, right, I'm pretty good at transferring files. I feel like I could have got you 40 terabytes since the last court date, but I don't know, they'd be working with some outdated internet, some ethernet, I don't know what they're working with, okay? Now, the judge encouraged both sides to work together, not to be combative, and just try and get each other the information that they needed. And essentially, we're looking at June the 17th, I believe, that was the next court date that's been accepted. And the judge made it very clear. She said, look, we don't take summer breaks like this. We ain't teachers, all right? We don't take summer breaks. We're going to be in here all summer long, getting it in, trying to get to the bottom of this case and this trial. And they're basically, they're not about to just, you know, sit on their hands and let this thing go. This is going to be going on all through the summer. They're going to be doing absolutely everything they can to get this case dealt with. And essentially, yeah, so we're not going to hear anything else for a month, but we are going to be able to get basically some progress into next month, and the judge is just not having any more delays. So I personally feel like it was interesting today. Now I'm fairly certain, I'm pretty sure, I'm not 100,000% sure, but I'm pretty sure I saw David's dad actually sitting in the gallery. I'm certain it was him. I did actually see a few faces that I recognized. Obviously, I see, you know, David's lawyers in the hallway. I see a few journalists. But yeah, everybody was kind of, you know, here to observe the proceedings. When David was brought out, kind of like last time, it was almost like there was a bit of a chill in the room. The energy kind of got very dark. It kind of got very hushed and quiet in the courtroom. He came out sort of with his head bowed. He looked kind of, you know, on more of a kind of like he'd been humbled by the universe, really. He looked a little bit, obviously he looked down. He looked like he was dealing with a lot. He looked a little bit like he was feeling the pressure. That was kind of what I got. He did speak a couple of times. He sort of spoke to the judge and just agreed and said, you know, yeah, those dates sound good. I know, I'm okay with that. Let's keep going. So he spoke. He was more talkative than he was last time. Last time he only said yes, ma'am. This time he said a couple of words and sort of, you know, ummed along with what the judge was saying. But that was kind of the whole of it. So we got the update. We are going to be finding out, you know, what's going on within the next month. But I'm out here at the courthouse, man. We got the media out here. It's not kind of as crazy as it has been on previous days. Obviously, there was kind of more crazy days where, you know, we ended up having like some really big bombshells that were dropped. Yeah, I'm not sure if we're going to get a big update like that for a month, but we're out here, man, and we're getting to the bottom of it. I'm attending the trial. I'll be attending the next date, so I'm going to tap in with my guy, Young Camel, man. He was in the courtroom with me. You're now a regular at the David trial, man. You're a regular journalist at this thing. What were your thoughts? Because I was just explaining kind of the vibes that I got when David walked in the courtroom. I felt like he was kind of looking a bit downtrodden, had his head kind of ducked down. He spoke a couple times, but what was your experience in the courtroom like? What did you think from your perspective?
Man, David was thinking, oh, I'm cooked. Right when he walked into the courtroom, man, he had his head down. It looked like he hasn't been stretching in a minute. He looked real stiff in the back, you know? He didn't look around too much. He just kind of had his head to the floor, like man, he looked kind of bored. He was like, man, I've been here so many times. You're about to push my court date to next month, and like, can we just get this process over with? It looked like he was just done with the process. He's waiting.
Oh, yeah, no, it's all good, it's all good.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
He's just waiting for some type of predicament to happen. He's waiting for the judge to say guilty or not guilty. He kind of wanted to get it over with. He didn't look into the crowd. He said yes, ma'am, a couple of times. He agreed to June the 17th for his next preliminary court date, because at this point they're just trying to get 40 terabytes of information uploaded. They said they've been uploading this since Thursday. It's still being uploaded. So he just kind of he looked like he wanted to get it over with. The defense, once again, looked very relaxed. They just were whispering amongst each other. The prosecution just looked ready to go, like, no, we're ready. We got the stuff. We're just waiting on these files. We got other court dates. We're just trying to get this over with. The judge said, hey, this is not going to be summer break. We're all going to be here. You're not going on vacation. We're going to be in this courtroom. We want to get this done by the end of the year. So everybody was just on time, and it looks like they just want to get to the bottom of this case as quickly as possible.
Hey, do you feel like the defense was looking more or less confident than last time? Because I feel like last time the defense wasn't looking too confident. I feel like this time they wasn't looking the most confident, but maybe more so than last time. Because I'm not going to lie, I feel like last time they were low key, like looking like a shambles. But did you feel that, or am I bugging?
I felt like the defense looked confident this time. I don't know. The defense kind of was more grounded, more like, yeah, like we'll take that court day. Yeah, we're waiting for the files to upload. We got 40 terabytes. We've checked the files. Go ahead with your discovery. We got this case. So I think the defense has some in their back pocket to like flip it and reverse it. We know the American justice system, you know, can be bamboozled with, can be, you know, slipped and slid around, and it looks like the defense has some firepower in their arsenal.
Yeah, I feel like they were looking a little more confident this time, if I'm honest. I didn't feel like they was like killing it. I still feel like the DA, you know, Beth Silverman, she comes in with like pretty interested energy. I feel like she kind of came in, she always super snappy and demanding in a way that's like, just gives confidence. Like the judge asking about dates, she like, I got something else going on that date. It's kind of like very to the point. I feel like she talked fast in a way that's almost like makes your head spin, like, oh, she, you know, oh, can we do this date? Like, we think she's like, no, can't do the date. Here's another date. She kind of moves shit along quick. I feel like she really takes charge of that courtroom and them interactions, even with the judge. Not in a disrespectful way, but I feel like the way she handles herself, she just exudes that confidence. And I feel like David's team, like, even when the judge be asking them stuff, like Blair Burke kind of be scrambling around, like whispering to the other lawyer, like, oh, like they don't really know what to say. I don't know if that's just part of how it plays out, but it just seems like the confidence I get from the prosecution is unmatched in that courtroom. And I do still feel like David's lawyers, look, I've put my prediction out there that I wonder if David's lawyers are going to stick with him. I feel like the evidence probably worked out to be a lot more damning than maybe they were expecting. So I do wonder if they're going to stick with him for the long term. But at the same time, they did seem more confident this time than last time, which surprised me because pretty serious stuff came out in court last time. You know, they were talking about the blood in the garage, the Uber journeys that were allegedly booked in his name. So, yeah, I feel like the case is developing, and I would say the attitudes of the lawyers is definitely like developing in an interesting direction, but we're gonna have to see that next update, man.
Yeah, I think right now the defense is just they're privy to, we're just talking about dates right now. We're not actually talking, they're not actually defending him right now. They're just saying like, hey, when's our next date? So they're just getting ready for the whole process. And the prosecution once again is gonna be snappy. She's on the gun, you know, like, I run this courtroom. Even the judge kind of smirked a little bit, like, wow, like she real confident right now, like this is an open and shut case. But the judge, she looked non-biased. The judge looked at both parties equally. She spoke to him respectfully on both sides. When talking to David, she was respectful with David. So the judge was unbiased. Prosecution is running and gunning, and defense is just kind of playing defense. So it looked like a proper courtroom today.
It did, man. It did. I feel like it was definitely like setting the signs for like what's to come. I feel like there's definitely going to be some tense exchanges. I feel like you're seeing two different personalities and the different lawyers on the defense and the prosecution side, and I do think it's going to be explosive when they finally do get to it. They finally start really sparring over the evidence and trying to pick holes. And look, maybe I've been a little bit downplaying Blair Burke and the energy that she's putting out in the courtroom, but obviously she's a serious lawyer, and I think when it comes to actually picking holes in the evidence, she's probably going to be very ferocious. The prosecution might not be confident for the whole time. I feel like there might be some curveballs that maybe set them back a little, set them off kilter, and I do feel like I doubt what we're seeing in the first couple of days is going to be a sign of how everything is going to play out, but yeah, that's kind of how I'm feeling. But I can't wait to see the prosecution and the defense really go at it and really spar verbally in the courtroom over that evidence. I think it's going to be explosive. So
it's going to be an explosive court case. I think it's going to be like Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield, just, you know, knocking each other down, knocking each other back. I mean, the tension between the two lawyer teams was definitely there. Every time they look at each other, it was like, man, I'm about to get you. I mean, the prosecutions look like, man, we already cooking right now, but the defense was kind of just laid back, you know, hands crossed, kind of like a big boss, like, oh yeah, you think we cooking now, but look, we got you. Like, yeah, we got 40 terabytes. What you need? 80 terabytes? We got any amount of terabytes you need. You can get my iCloud too. So the defense was kind of just like just relaxed, like just like kind of on some boss status. Like, I don't need to talk about it. I'm gonna just show my evidence. So I feel like it's gonna be a good court case. I feel like we have a lot of evidence that's not even discovered yet. So it's gonna be very interesting to see how this goes down. We were just in court for maybe 15-20 minutes, so it was a very quick process. You know, the judge is straight to the point with what she's trying to get going on. So so far, I appreciate the way this court process is going.
For real, man. Hey, thank you for your perspective, man. Everybody, make sure you go subscribe to Camel News. My guy, Young Camel, in the building, reporting live, man. You're going to be seeing a lot more of him at the trial. Now, somebody that I did want to get some analysis from before I get out of here is another YouTube extraordinaire who's been covering this case, my guy, Mark the Shark.
Hey, what's
and
up?
I'm live on his stream right now as well. We out here with the Shark Gang, okay? We swimming with the sharks right now.
Are you live?
No, I'm just recording.
Oh, video? Okay.
But are you down to give your thoughts? I'll do a quick interview with you just about your thoughts on today's court date. So yeah, we were just discussing, me and my guy Young Camel were just talking about how, you know, I feel like last time I was here, I didn't see the last court date, but I was here for the one before, and I feel like Blair Burke and the team were maybe like seemed just a little bit lacking in confidence or a little bit like blindsided by the evidence. I feel like they seemed a little more confident today. We didn't hear too much new evidence, but you know, there was kind of some wrangling over dates and things. What was your perspective as far as like what was going on inside the courtroom and like, you know, the little maybe back and forth between the defense and prosecution and just how confident they're looking?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it is different energy here. It's a different world out here when you're in the courtroom, because as I was saying to my chat, it's, you see the sheriffs, you see David, you see the prosecution, you see the defense, the judge, you see the public, the media, and then you bring it all together, and it has that feel of, you know, are we going to get justice? Are we going to get answers? And today, there wasn't as much updates as there was before. But my whole feeling about this is that, you know, David doesn't seem worried. He seems okay with whatever's going on, or it hasn't hit him yet. You know, I can't put myself in his mind, which, you know, I don't know what's going on in his mind. You don't know what he's thinking, how he's feeling, and to do the stuff that he's been accused of, you know, dismemberment, the CP, evidence tampering.
Yeah,
it's just shocking stuff. And I was saying that it does something to me when you see somebody like that, and you see the killers on TV, but when you see them in real life, allegedly, to me, in my opinion, it doesn't seem like he has a soul, or there's a void in there that there's missing from like you and I when I feel your energy, you know. And I think that's what I took away from this. The back and forth with the prosecution and the defense was good. You know, the prosecution, Beth Silverman, saying, "Look, we're ready." Obviously, you know, she's pointing that out. The defense is saying, "Well, there's a lot of evidence discovery that we haven't even gotten the witness testimony. We need a picture to paint for our defense." And that's what they're arguing, is that they don't have that story. So there wasn't too much. They moved the dates from the 17th, June 17th to and the 29th, I believe. Was it the 29th? Yeah.
Yeah. So okay. I feel like there was maybe like, you know, there was a little bit of wrangling over those dates. I feel like there's probably a fine balance between wanting to get the speedy trial he's entitled to, but also this 40 terabytes of evidence. And, you know, I believe they confirmed they just about got 10 terabytes up since the last court date. What do you feel like as far as, you know, the way that this evidence is being handled? You've been reporting on this really closely, and you know that, you know, there's a lot of, you know, there's illegal videos, and there's, you know, so much footage and text and images in his iCloud. What do you feel like as far as, you know, the amount of evidence has been uploaded? Do you feel like they're dragging their feet about this? Do you feel like this is genuinely just, the courts just can't handle this much information, or do you feel like there's maybe a bit of a delay tactic going on here?
Might be a little bit of everything. You're right, yeah. And the system that they have, I'm not sure how it is or if it's up to date. You know, with the government, things move slow. They have like a website where you upload stuff. I mean, for us, we can upload things fast.
Yeah.
So maybe they need to update their system, get a brand new system, so they can upload or get hardware like they did for the email for the 10 terabytes.
Yeah.
Something, but yeah, I mean, it's a little bit of everything. A little stall tactic, a little bit more, you know, let's prolong this. But the judge was like, hey, this is not going to take years. I guarantee you that. So I like that part where Beth Silverman was saying, look, I've seen this time and time again where they drag it out.
Yeah.
It takes years. And then the judge was like, no, it's not going to happen in my court. So yeah, no,
I do like the judge. I feel like the judge is very fair, very straight to the point, very reasonable.
Yeah.
But she seems to be very committed to like keeping things going along in the right direction and just following along. But yeah, I feel like this wasn't a big update, but it was very interesting to see where we're at. It was obviously a status update. It was literally, we got the status of the evidence and the case and David and all of that stuff. Now I was thinking for a second, I don't know if you saw, but I thought I saw David's dad in the audience. But I don't know if you spotted him. I thought maybe I see him.
Really?
But I wasn't confirmed. It was quick.
Really?
But yeah, I thought I see him. I thought I'd see him from a distance over somewhere, but
Maybe.
yeah, I'm kind of like, I don't know, I'm very curious to know what's going on with his family. I know initially they said they were supporting their son. His brothers kind of come out to kind of speak out against him allegedly. So yeah, I don't know if you have any thoughts of that or if you've seen the parents here at previous dates, but
I have not, and I wouldn't be surprised. You know, that's their son, and if the family would, you know, family is always there for you no matter what, I suppose, and depends, you know. But I mean, yeah, I would not be surprised if he was here today. I did not see him. I was very focused on David and the judge and the prosecution, the defense. But ooh, yeah, that'd be interesting.
Scary,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, that'd be scary. Yeah.
So, is there any sort of other predictions you got for the case, or just anything you want to update people on as far as like new information coming out, or anything that you got going that you're digging into? I know that you took the long drive up to where some of the evidence was allegedly dumped the other day. So maybe let the people know what you got going on and some of the big updates you've been bringing to the people on your channel.
Yeah, definitely. That was the you know, I would go out there. I go to sites a lot because it gets you. It like really brings it home, you know, and I want the viewers to see what I'm seeing and really deep dive into these cases. And so today, I don't think I'm going to go up to Santa Barbara, but we are going to go to Celeste's cemetery, her plot, and we're going to get flowers from the Shark family.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
When are you planning to go over there?
After here.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's amazing, man. I think that's just so beautiful. And something I wanted to just like put in, especially at the end of this video, is just that like I really don't want people to lose sight of the fact of like what we're all doing here. You know, this is all about getting justice for Celeste. You know, this poor little girl who lost her life far too young and was just sucked into something that she had no business being involved in. So, you know, let's not lose sight of the fact that this is all justice for Celeste, that we're all here just trying to participate in justice as a community. You know, Los Angeles, it's so important for people to make sure that justice is done, to participate in a, you know, a fair and a transparent justice system where you're entitled to follow along and see what happened, to see justice being delivered. And you know, I'm just really grateful that we live in a society where these things are taken seriously. You know, it takes time. Maybe it took 7 months for things to get put in a place where it looked like justice was being done, but it looks like it's being delivered now. You know, maybe slow but surely. And you know, I'm grateful to be here and to be able to cover that, and you know, to be able to just document justice being done in this horrible crime. You know, it's not going to make up for what happened, but she deserves justice, and I think as a society we deserve our answers. So I'm feeling grateful that we're even in a position to be able to see this through as a society. So yeah, man, let the people know where to find you and what you're working on, and just yeah, so they can catch up with what you've been doing on this case so well.
Yeah, before that, let me just say, you know, thanks for keeping it in your channel and the awareness of it, and which is really good. A lot of people have been showing you love and support for that, and I respect that, man. So thank you for keeping this in the public eye, man. That's huge.
Appreciate that, man. Yeah. Thank you so much.
You guys can find me at Mark the Shark 943 on YouTube. And so, be covering this case. I cover other cases too. 2 more cases: the Nancy Guthrie case and Baby and Manolito case.
Yeah, we might have to talk about the Nancy Guthrie case at some point down the line. But hey, thanks so much for your analysis. Make sure that you go and subscribe to Mark's channel. He's doing amazing work and research on this case, and you'll definitely be seeing a lot more of him and me at the trial. So
yeah, definitely check out Trapmore Ross if you already haven't.
Appreciate you guys. Shout out to Mark's stream. Thank you so much for having me. I'll catch you guys soon. You heading out? Okay, so good to see you.
Good seeing you. Take care.
I'll see you soon. Take care, yeah? So, look, that's kind of the update, all right? I'm here. We're at the courthouse. I'll just give you a little taste of just some of the surroundings where I'm at and what's going on, okay? But we're literally here at the Los Angeles courthouse, okay? Is this the location of the first LA high school? What the hell? It's so interesting to be here. It feels like a very historical location, the LA courthouse right now. So I'm honestly just feeling very grateful to be here and to be covering this case and this trial. You know, obviously that's not to say, you know, anything's good about what's gone on, or hang on a second, or what's transpired at trial, but you know, this is just a very important part of society and of justice, and I'm just here reporting, you know, what's going on and just following up and just trying to see what's going on with justice for Celeste. You know, I don't act like, you know, I'm responsible for anything that's going on, but I just feel like I'm a small cog in a larger machine, just trying to get to the bottom of what's going on, just trying to get to the facts, and that's always been my kind of mission with my channel, is to just kind of chase the facts, chase the information, and give you guys just the raw, you know, unfiltered breakdown of what's going on. Sometimes that's got a bit of my opinion on it, sometimes it's just the facts of everything that's going on. But anyway, I'm signing out. Okay, we're here at the Criminal Justice Center, the Superior Court of California, and we will be here a lot more as the summer goes on, covering the David trial. But for now, guys, thank you for watching this update. I'm out. Peace.